Hey guys, how's it going? It's Smashing. I'm back with some more Umamusume, and I'm actually back here with my tier list. Now, remember my last tier list video? I actually kind of left it a little bit incomplete. Granted, like, I don't have all the 3 stars because, that's, I'm not rich, so getting all the 3 stars is definitely out of the question. But I have played all of the 1 and 2 stars, and I got a couple more 3 stars from the tickets and just getting lucky. So I'm back with my tier list again. I'm actually gonna go more in depth than I did in my previous video. Like I was a bit unhappy with that video, as I realized. Like I was happy with like the way I was managed to talk for 17 minutes without really stopping, but I don't know. I wasn't happy with like the overall quality because I don't feel like I went too in depth with each character. So I kind of want to go back and do that today. And I've got my game in the background here. That's I'm playing the music from. So I could also just reference the game itself too. So let's go back through my tier list one more time and kind of give my explanations for why I'm placing these characters in these particular brackets. Now, at the top we have Sakurabakshino. I don't think I need to explain why Sakurabakshino is the easiest horse to train. We all know it at this point. It's a meme. We just literally just press the speed button in the trainer and we win. What do you really want to do with her? Like, if you're like a little bit more experienced with the game, is you want to also get her wit up as well. If you want to use her as a front runner, she benefits greatly from wit. So, and she needs to proc most of her skills in order to make sure she keeps the lead, because that's how front runners win. Anyway, but to clear the main story, you just have to press speed button with Sakurabakshino and she'll pretty much win. Same actually goes for the most part with Maruzensky and Taiki Shuttle. I probably should have put Taiki Shuttle like over here, like beside Ogre Cap. Taiki Shuttle is much the same. And actually Curran-chan, if you have Curran-chan, she's also actually maybe even easier than Sakurabakshino because Curran-chan just has sprints. She only has sprints. Like her longest race is 1400 meters. Like actually no, I think even her make debut I think is a mile, which I think is longer. So honestly, Curran-chan is probably the easiest Uma to train. She literally just presses speed. Just like Sakurabakshino, except you might have to put a little more stamina into her because she benefits better as being a pace chaser because her special activates when she's challenged around like the final corner. But other than that, she's basically the same. Like she is just a sprint queen. Yeah, Maruzensky. Let me just go through. Actually, I can't go through Maruzensky. I don't have her on my alt account. But Maruzensky, she does have a couple of medium races, which makes her a little bit more difficult to train. You need a little bit more stamina, but you don't have to place very high in those medium races. She has a Rima Kinen, but Rima Kinen is mostly like, it's kind of like almost like a forced loss for Maruzensky, unless you want to raise her long aptitude, which you don't really want to. You want to keep her as a mile runner. Really great front runner, and as such she skips. She like for the most part avoids a lot of the RNG. You just have to give her focus or concentration if you have concentration. If you also have focus, at least she should be able to dodge like getting blocked early. That's the only thing with front runners. If they get blocked early, then it's over for them. Then next, yeah, well, actually no. Next is Taiki Shuttle. I probably should have put Taiki Shuttle beside Maruzensky. Taiki Shuttle is also very simple. She's a mile runner, and she also does a lot of sprints as well. Her special's pretty good, but you need her special to activate at. You hope to she's not blocked, so in order to do that, she needs more power and she needs a little more wit. But other than that, Taiki Shuttle, once she gets, once she levels up her power and wit, her unique skill is very, very good. She can just blast ahead of a lot of people in the late race. But yeah, she has a lot of. I'm pretty sure she just has mile and sprint races. I don't think she has any medium races at all, if I remember correctly. Actually, let me cross-reference with my phone. Just give me 1 second here. Taiki Shuttle. I only did like 1 run with Taiki Shuttle on my main account. So let me just take a quick look here. I'm pretty sure Taiki Shuttle just has mile and medium races. Actually, I just realized I'm in the middle of a campaign right now, so I can't really check. That's my bad. Okay. You know what? Let's go in Game Toro. Game Toro will be a little bit easier. Alright, let me just take a quick look here. Mile. Yep, she just has mile races. Literally just has a mile races. And she has one sprint race. So, you just press the speed button basically with her. You have to use a little bit of stamina, but that's it. Yes, I don't want to give up on this campaign, so I'm not gonna. I was gonna use my phone to cross-reference, but it's okay. Next we have. Oops, let me go back. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Next we have Ogre Cap, who I also have on my main account. Ogre Cap is mostly here just because her special is ridiculously good. As long as she's like around like what second to fifth place, she'll get her special around at the 200 meter mark. So generally, she actually wants to be used as a late surger. I use her as a pace chaser mostly. She's perfectly capable as a pace chaser. But yeah, in order to get her special to proc, she probably wants to be a late surger. But other than that, Ogre Cap, she can do anything. She can run anywhere. She does have a couple of medium and long races, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just go back and check here. I'm less prepared for this video than I thought it was. I'm just gonna keep this tab open, just so you guys can see. Ogre Cap, and that's not what I'm looking for. Original. That's what I'm looking for. She has Mile. She has a Rima Keenan, which is long. She has a Rima Keenan twice, and she also has Tenno Show Autumn. And she has, this is placed third better in 2 G1 races, which is her 6th goal. Like at this point, like she's already like really good. Like I don't know what it is, but Ogre Cap, I think she's what, plus 20% speed and plus 10% power growth. I think that's what it is, right? Yeah. So she could just accelerate and be really fast. So she's just very easy to raise. Because I just give her like 3 speed, 2 power, 1 stamina card, and then she's good to go. She has Gourmand as a pace chaser skill. And yeah, she just has a lot of mile races early. She's great in mile races. You can just raise speed and just like work in a bit of stamina so you have enough for Rima Keenan. These G1 races are probably going to be medium races. I don't think there's many G1 races that are like long races or like mile races at the beginning. Because you have to get this by summer vacation or summer break. But yeah, Ogre Cap, super easy to raise, like ridiculously easy. Anyway, so back to my tier list. I've put Symbolic Rudolph here. Even though Symbolic Rudolph has like neat stamina because she does run. Actually, let me just reference this for a second. Symbolic Rudolph, I put it in medium, even though I put it in easy. Sorry, even though she has a lot of the same goals, a lot of the medium racers, like people like El Condor Pasa, Special Week, Grass Wonder, Agnes Tachyon. All these horses want to run in the Triple Crown. So all of them want to get Satsuki Show, Japanese Derby, and Kika Show. And Symbolic Rudolph, I think, is just the easier of all of them because she has the best special skill. Like her Thine Emperor's Divine Might is a ridiculously good special skill on Symbolic Rudolph. If she's like approaching the corner, like she's on the straight late and she's already past 3 racers, then she just gets a ridiculous speed boost. And that's won me so many races. Just having that proc is ridiculous. So, and even on my first attempt Symbolic Rudolph, I got the Triple Crown, and I pretty much like steamrolled almost every other race after that too. I think I only lost 1 race. I got second. So, even on my second campaign, I didn't get Triple Crown because I got blocked. But other than that, another easy campaign after that. Haru Aurora is also an easy just because she's also a sprint and mile runner. You basically click speed on Harurara and win. There's also the whole front runner strategy with her, where apparently she just is really good as a front runner for some reason, and she just wins every race. But yeah, I use it as intended as a late surger, and I still managed to clear URA finale like a couple of times. I only got stuck like a couple of times early on when I didn't know what I was doing, but even then I still got like I think it was the one, I think it was Sprinter Stakes where you have to place like first. But other than that, I had no issues with Harurara. Um, Once you get through that last mission, which I believe is Sprinter Stakes, and that's like the 8th goal, I think. Let me just quickly go back to my main game here. Let me just take a look. Let me just switch screens for a second. There we go. Bring up my game. Oh, it's not here. I gotta start a campaign. Yeah, a JBC Sprint. This is the one I got stuck on, like when I was early. But other than that, these are all really simple. Place top 5 in all of these. This is the only one you have to win. This is literally the only race you have to win. So that, other than that, it's pretty easy to get top 5 in all of these. Did I do it on this account? I won this one. I didn't win February Stakes. February Stakes is a little bit difficult. Because February Stakes you have like it's a G1. Other than that, I cleared already, I believe, with Harurara. Oh no, I didn't beat URA finale on this account with Harurara, but yeah. Other than that, pretty simple. So let's just go back to my. Oh, my thing's not working. There we go. I have to bring that back up again. Okay. Next is. Next on my list is Vodka. Again, another mile racer. I find it just really easy to raise mile racers, just because you just mostly just click speed and win. Vodka needs a little more power because she's a late surger, so you probably want to stack like probably like 4 speed, 2 power on her, and that'll pretty much get you all of the stamina that you need as well if you train power. But she works best as a late surger. She has her rivalry with Darwin Scarlet, so you probably won't win every race. I believe she also has the Derby. The Derby is also like an early roadblock for most players because usually you can't meet the stamina requirements in time unless you train it. But I don't think she even has to place like she probably. I think you also has to get top 5 in Derby. Let me just double check on my trusty account here. Let me switch back here. Gotta work this in. Sorry guys, I switch back and forth. There we go. Vodka. Yeah, she has to place top 5 in the Derby, which is pretty easy. Then she had she's mostly just to play top 5. She has to win 10-0 show, and then that's it. So Vodka is also really easy to raise just because she has very low race requirements. Like all of these are mile races, like Tanchin, Junior Phillies, Tulip Show. Oka Show is a medium race, I believe. Oh no, this is also a mile race. Then she has the Derby, which is the big roadblock for a lot of horses if they have Derby in their classic year. Shuka Show is a medium race. This is just run in Ribakinen. You don't have to like place at all. So then she has mile races until the end, and come back to Tenosha Autumn, which you should have more than enough stamina for it by that point. So yeah, Vodka is pretty simple to raise. I recommend her, especially early on. Like pretty much anyone in the easy category, obviously, I'm recommending that you do for your first playthrough, because it's just really simple to raise them. I believe Vodka also has a 20% power growth. Let me just double check that. Let's double check here. Where is it? Yes, 20% power growth and 10% speed. Perfect. That's exactly what you want for her. Then yeah, she has all of her mile races, and then just a couple of mediums mixed in, which she has the proficiency for, so you don't have to like get that from any parents. She automatically comes with medium and mile distances. So But she works best as late surgery. You can make her pace chaser. It's pretty easy. Just grab a parent if you want her to be a pace chaser. But I always use those late surgery just as intended. By the way, all these are as intended. I use all of these racers as the way they're meant to be, except for Bakshin, who I think we've all discovered that she works better as a front runner. We've all discovered that. Oh yeah, so anyway, I would talk about Taiki Shuttle earlier, so I found next one is Special Week, even though Special Week has the requirements for... Oops, sorry. No, I don't know why my thing uses Yahoo, but anyway. It works perfectly fine for this, if it loads. Anyway, Special Week also has a really good special skill. All she has to do is pass a runner around like the final corner. It could be on the final corner or even like after the final corner. It just depends on when she passes someone. It just has to be late race. But usually that velocity, even though it's a velocity and not an acceleration, she gets enough of it that she can usually just pass most other Umas. She does do the traditional triple crown, I believe. I don't quite remember. And unfortunately, Game Tour is not loading right now. Oh, it loaded. Alright, cool. 20% stamina growth, 10% wit growth. So you'll need to give her like a bit more power cards. You probably want like at least 3, maybe even 4 speed cards on her. And then you can go like power and wit. Because she has such a good innate stamina growth. Let me just remember what her races are. So she has Kisaragi Show, which is a mile race. She actually doesn't have the aptitude for mile races, right? No, she doesn't. But either way, you only have to place 5th or better on the Kisaragi Show, and this is a G3 race, so it's pretty easy. Then after that, she has all long and medium races. She has this is the Derby. That's always the big one, but because Special Week comes with 20% stamina growth, it's actually easier to reach her goals for stamina growth, but before you even hit the Derby. So that's part of the reason why I put Special Week in easy category. Kika Show is a long race. Again, she has 20% stamina growth, so it's really easy to race her to be good here. And then Tenno Show Spring, again, she has her 20% stamina growth, so she doesn't have to worry about getting enough stamina. You usually should have enough stamina by the time you reach Tenno Show Spring, which is around 450 stamina, I believe, that you want for this. In story mode, anyway. Team Trial is a bit of a different story. But 450 stamina, and then you can go with lower, like maybe like 400, even 350 stamina with HP recovery or endurance recovery, whatever you want to call it. This is the only roadblock, Tenno Show Spring. You just gotta place 3rd, and then you should be good. Like Japan Cup and then Arima Keenan should be simple enough after your Tenno Show Spring. Tenno Show Spring is always the roadblock. Okay, so going to medium categories. We have, I put Dark with Scarlet here. Dark with Scarlet, I feel like she's actually like pretty simple early, but I don't believe that she gets great growths. Let me just double check here. I could always just check it in game too. The switching screens is a little bit annoying. If Game Tour doesn't load, I can always have this back up. Yeah, she has 20% guts growth, which is basically useless at this point where we're at, from what I've heard. And we have 10% speed growth, which is good because she needs that for her mile races early. Don't worry, she's good for mile races. I don't believe she has Arima Keenan, which is a long race, but she's pretty much gonna have the stamina that you need by the time she only does Arima Keenan at the end. She does a B in long, so it's not awful. You can easily get a parent for that long one. But it's mostly the reason why I put Dark Scarlet in medium, even though she has like the same path pretty much as Vodka, is just because it's actually just because of Vodka. For whatever reason, NPC Vodka is really good. Like I think we all know like there's a few characters in your games who just for some reason they just are really good, and vodka is one of them. I know they specifically I can't remember which one it is. But for one of these races, yeah, it's one of these races where vodka. Oh, or you can actually do this instead. You can just you can go in the Tokyo Yushun and the Derby and just like disrupt vodka. That's some petty stuff. But yeah, in one of these races, I can't remember which one, Tulip Show or Oka Show, vodka comes in and spoils your day, usually. You can have the stats to stop her, but usually that's one of the ones where vodka comes in and wrecks you. But yeah, other than that, like, the Reba Keenan one's probably the hardest one to do, but because it's the last one, you're probably going to be prepared for it. Okay, then Nice Nature, I've raised, like, because, you know, the Champions Meet's coming up. I've raised a bunch of Nice Natures. I'm ready to go. The thing about Nice Nature is she has some pretty easy races, especially early. You're not expected to win most of them because, one I feel like is almost a scripted loss. It's almost scripted loss to, I'm just gonna go back into game for a second here. Yeah, one of these I feel like is almost a scripted loss to Tokaiteo. Yeah, it's Wakago mistakes here. This is like basically a scripted loss. The only thing about Nice Nature and the reason why I put her in medium, even though these are all like easily winnable, like there's no races that are particularly difficult, especially since it's basically just plays top 3 in all of them. Well, I guess that's part of the reason why I put her in medium. It's because you have to place top 3. Usually for a lot of the early racers, it's like you want to be top 5, but for Nice Nature specifically, it's always top 3. So that's the reason why I put her in medium. Even though a lot of these races shouldn't give you much trouble. Like, she doesn't run in anything crazy. This is the first one, the Kika show. So you want to be prepared for that. I believe she comes with her, yeah, medium and long perfectly. She's perfectly fine at running medium and long races. So there's nothing that's you should be super worried about here. Let me just go back in here. She has 10% wit, so she doesn't have any stamina growth. So you probably want to give her stamina cards just so she hits the requirement for that. But other than that, she has really good power, so it allows her to speed up pretty fast. Anyway, back to my tier list. But yeah, Ray's Nice Nature. Nice Nature is a lot of fun, and I really like her character a lot. Medium next is Air Groove. Apparently she works better as a late surger just so she can activate her special ability. I've used her more as a pace chaser because I think that's how she was built, but it's a lot easier to activate her unique skill if she uses late surger. But Air Groove is like, she's got like Dark Scarlet. She wants to run in the Tiara. Do I have Air Groove on this account? I do. I think I just picked her up. Because I was trying to grab all the characters that I could before I started recording. I was expecting I would have to use Game Tora. But she like hers isn't super difficult. She has mile races early, which actually is a little bit interesting because she doesn't have mile proficiency. She has a B rank, which means you could have difficulties in these races, but not that much. But she only has her mile races early, and then after that she just gets all medium races. Wait, these are all medium races? Yes, they are. So she prefers running medium races, but you can get her to mile. All it takes is one parent, but she doesn't have that innately, and she has her first 2 races are mile, even though she doesn't have to place like very highly in them. But just something to keep in mind when you play Air Groove, you want to have mile proficiency if you can. Especially, she is going for triple TR, which is Okusho, Japanese Oaks, and Shukasho. So she wants to have, in order to accomplish her goals, she really wants to have all 3. And Okusho is a mile race, so you have to be prepared. But other than that, but I like Air Groove quite a bit. She has 10% speed to go to 20% power, so you can just give her a whole bunch of speed cards and like maybe one stamina card to help her with her medium distance, and she's pretty good. Even just for like her basic stuff's up pretty good. Up tempo is good. Yes, this is towards the back, so you need to be like in like a later position. So it works better as a late surger, but she has pace chaser skills, so that's another reason why she could be medium, is because she doesn't quite synergize with her kit's very weird. But other than that, yeah, she's pretty good Uma. And pretty easy to trade because she has her 10% speed growth and 20% power, so it's easy to just like spam speed to get everything that you need. Next we have El Condor Pasa, who I actually don't have on my account here on oops, no, go back to my tier list, hang on a second. Did it load properly? Yes, it did, okay. So El Condor Pasa has a bit of a difficult journey. Okay, so anyone's wondering why Caps Lock keeps appearing, it's because I use Caps Lock as my push to talk. So she doesn't have a long distance aptitude, so you probably want to get her a parent for that. But she prefers pace chasing, and what's her growths again? She has what, 10%, oh, 20% speed and then 10% wit. But unfortunately, she needs her stamina, because especially if this could sneak up on you really easily, because she wants to race in the derby, and the thing is, this comes right after the NHK Mile Cup. So if you're unprepared and don't know it's coming, these races are back to back. So you have to have your stamina for derby, which I like to say is around like 350 stamina before the derby in order to be optimal. So this could easily sneak up on you if you're not prepared. So just keep that in mind for El Condor Pasa, especially because she kind of wants, especially in this story, she wants to make winning the derby her goal. So if you want to win this race, you have to really be prepared for it. But after the derby, she has like medium and mile races, which aren't very difficult. It's just the last race is Rimakinen, so you have to be prepared with the long. But even then, you should have the skills. As long as you play well enough, you should be able to get past the long aptitude problem if you have the skills and the stats for it. So, but it's just the derby. The derby is always such a big jump because it's 2,400 meters, so it's almost as long as Rimakinen. So you always have to be prepared for that Japanese derby. This is the big one. I feel this is always a roadblock. But because it's early, they don't expect you to place very high in it, but you want to win this race, it's pretty difficult. And plus, Special Week always gets a buff on this course, so it feels like you'll almost never win it. So yeah, Special Week is very scary on that course. She's like, pretty much coded to win that. So it's pretty tough to overcome the odds to beat her. Okay, Medru Orion. To be honest, I only played like one round of Medru Orion, so I'm gonna have to refer back to my game here. Because as far as I know, like I found Medru Orion's campaign not super interesting, so I didn't play her very much. That's too far back. So Medru Orion is she actually needs to be a parent. Or sorry, like a parent who can help her with her long skills, because she has a lot of long, if I remember correctly. Okay, that's a mile race, which I don't. She also doesn't have proficiency in. She does not. So that first race is something she doesn't have proficiency in. So I guess that's another thing to keep in mind. But she does want to do Triple Crown, so you have to do Satsuki Show, Japanese Derby, and Kika Show. So because she wants to get the Triple Crown, you need that long proficiency, and you also need the stamina requirements. But I believe that's fine for Medru Orion. I believe she has the increased stamina growth, right? No, she doesn't. She has power and wit. Okay, so that's a bit of a problem. I should probably put Medru Orion probably a bit lower then. Or at least like probably the end of medium. Because these are some tough requirements, because you need, granted, there's only 1 mile race, so you only need to place top 3 in it, but because, and it's an open race, so this is pretty easy. But even still, you probably still need like a B rank for Mile to like be safe on it, because we can just send her straight to Glue Factory after if you don't get top 3. Other than that, after that she has medium and long races. But because she doesn't have her proficiency in long, you need to have a parent who does. I always use late surgers. Actually, I prefer late surgers, but I believe her. But I believe her skills usually are more late surgery, right? We can use her as a pace chaser, but I believe her skills propel her more towards being a late surger. But Metro Ryan, yeah, she has a bit of a harder campaign. I actually didn't have any difficulties with her, but she definitely has the problem because she doesn't have the stamina growth, right? Okay, 1 second. Let me go back to my list here. Okay, then I have Agnes Tachyon. Agnes Tachyon is a bit interesting. She's very good for stamina, actually. She's actually pretty well known for having good stamina, so distances aren't much of an issue problem for her. It's just that she has the traditional, like, she wants to run Triple Crown. So we need to fix this long proficiency if you want to get Triple Crown. So you probably want to get to win Kikasho, and I believe she also has Makina, like most horses do. She does. Most part she runs medium races though. Very good medium races. But you need to make sure she gets her stamina up. Thankfully you don't have to worry about it too much because she comes with her stamina skill. I think it's U equals MC squared or something like that, but the regular version is Introduction to Physiology. She also preferred position, so she really goes a pace chaser. She really prefers that. Oh yeah, but Agnes Tachyon, I see that I find she's pretty simple to use, but because she has her stamina is always so high that she gets her acceleration early, and I feel like that usually helps her out. She has what? She has her speed growth as well, right? 20% speed? Yeah, that'll do, right? She can go fast. But you just want to invest a little bit of power into her to make sure she has the stamina that she needs, and the strength that she needs to get through. But because she has Triple Crown, you always have to be wary about meeting her stamina requirements. It's just actually easier with her. So I probably should have moved Agnes Tachyon higher up the list on medium because she's not as difficult. Anyway, so we have Machikari Fukutaru on here. Machikari Fukutaru is a bit like almost like RNG the horse because she has two events. She has 2 goals that she kind of pulls out of a hat and she wants to race in them. I don't know what exactly the races could be. Let me actually take a look at it because I actually don't know what her races could be. Spelled it right? I believe I spelled it correctly. I can do the Japanese. She has 20% stamina and 10% power, which is good because she needs to be good at medium and long races. She prefers laser. But I find Machikari Fukutaru is like not as good like outside of her career. Like she's not very good in like team trials, for example. I haven't won with her yet. She's just there because I need someone in my medium races. Okay, so this is actually the objectives. Okay, so we have Yaoi Show, which is a medium race. We have Spring Stakes, which is a mile race. And we have Mainichi High, which is a mile race. But I believe she doesn't have the proficiency for it in mile races, right? No, she doesn't. But it's only 5th or better, so you don't have to worry too much about that. And none of these races are particularly difficult. Okay. I thought maybe like the Satsuki show would be on here. Cause I think that'd be interesting. Okay, her races aren't super difficult. The reason why I thought she might be difficult is because her races would be like she might have to race in a G1, but no, these are all G3 to 2 races. So it's actually not as difficult as I thought she would be. But she does have, she still does two of the Triple Crown races, which is the Derby and Kikosho. So you want to have her stamina up. But it's okay, she's built for that. She has just 20% stamina growth. So yeah, actually she's a lot better than I thought she was, so I'm probably gonna move her up the list. And these races aren't super difficult either. Like the two random goal races and what's this one? Kinko Show, that's also not difficult. It's another G3 race. And she only has like 4 G1 races, which is pretty easy to do. Like her other races are actually really simple. She doesn't worry about the G1 races. Alright, let's take a look over here. So, I was actually wondering if I should have put, probably any of these three could change next. I have Grass Wonder, Winning Ticket, and Gold Chip. I probably put Gold Chip at the end just because Gold Chip's notoriously difficult to train, just because she decides to do random stuff like lock your training. She wants to goof off and ruin her mood. She always gets attention. I remember I had a really cursed Gold Chip. Okay, I had a really great Gold Chip run. It was like pretty much picture perfect. She won all the 14 races I entered her in. She was a beast. Like, I got her to like A+ rank. It was amazing. And then I immediately followed that up with like an absolutely horrid gold chip run, where I got to like bad mood because she got Night Owl. She got all 2 procs of Night Owl. I touched an infirmary 3 times. She didn't cure Night Owl, so I got 2 procs of Night Owl. And I got Slacker and Night Owl at the same time. I was like, oh my god, this is the gold chip experience. But yeah, either of these three I feel like you can swap around if need be. Winning Ticket has the classic Triple Crown, and so does Grass Wonder. But the thing is about Grass Wonder and Winning Ticket is because they have really strong rivals, so you usually want to have like really good stats in order to win against your rivals. Like Grass Wonder's rivals, she has Special Week, she has King Halo. King Halo is usually not too much of an issue, but she has Special Week, El Condor Pasa, and Say in the Sky, and each of them get like really jacked up stats on particular races. So she always has to worry about competing against one of those three. Sorry, just 1 second. I need to charge my laptop before it dies. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, and Winning Ticket has Biwa Hide and Narita Taishin to worry about. And all of them can just show up and ruin your day, like they did with me. I've had 2 really cursed Grass Wonder runs and 3 really cursed Winning Ticket runs. So that's the reason why I placed them on the mediums, because I personally had a lot of difficulty with Grass Wonder and Winning Ticket. I've only had 1 good Grass Wonder one and 1 good Winning Ticket run. Because the rivals just show up and ruin your day. It's really hard to get the top rank unless you have like really good stat cards. It's pretty hard to win like without like maxed out stats cards with those 2. And I think I mentioned with Gold Chip. Gold Chip is she does like 2 of the Triple Crown races, and she does a lot of long races, but she's built for long races. Let me just go back to my game and I'll show you all 3 of them. We'll just do that really quick. Okay, so Winning Ticket. Well, she also has Hopeful Stakes. This is another like the 2,000 meter race, the earliest 2,000 meter race that you can do. And she does like all the traditional like roads for Triple Crown. So she has Hopeful Stakes, Yaoi Show, Satsuki Show, Derby, and Kika Show. Then she also has Osaka High, Takazuka Kina, and Rima Kina. These are all G1 races, except for Yaoi Show, which is G2. But most horses will enter the Yaoi Show if they're doing the Yeah, if they're doing the traditional run of the Triple Crown. So you have to enter wing ticket at all of these races. Which are pretty much all G1s except for one race, which is she has a really crazy campaign. She gets no gimmies. Okay, then Gold Ship. Gold Ship's pretty similar. She has Hopeful Stakes, Satsuki Show, Kika Show, Rima Kinen, Tenno Show Spring, Takozuka Kinen, Tenno Show, and Rima Kinen. So she basically also has all G1 races. So that's the reason why Gold Ship is pretty difficult to raise. But I don't know. I always had fun raising Gold Ship. She's just so much fun for me. I don't know. I just have a good time. I don't know what it is about her, but that's it. Anyways, and who was I talking about? It was. Oh my god, I lost my train of thought. Who was it? Who else is in it? Grass Wonder. I don't think I have Grass Wonder on this account. I do not. What do I do? Never mind, she's right here. So she too. Oh no, this Aussie High Futurity Stakes. Okay, no, it's around the same time as Hopeful Stakes. She still has like all these are all G1 races except for Mainichi Okan. But yeah, like I mentioned, Grass Wonder always has a rival in pretty much every single race. I think Asahi High Futurity Stakes is the only one she doesn't have a rival in. So you always have to worry about beating your rival, and Mainichi Okan's almost a gimme. Then Rima Kinen, you should have the stats by then. But even still, like it's hard to place first in a lot of these races just because Derby she has Special Week as a rival. Japan Cup she has El Condorpasa. This Rima Kinen I believe she has Say in the Sky. And Takazuka Kinen I believe has a couple of different rivals as well. So it's always the rivals that show up to ruin your day on Grass Wonders runs. So that's why I placed her in late medium or in like near the bottom of medium. Yeah, I think I already talked about Gold Ship already, but yeah. She's just notoriously difficult to raise just because she just mess with you. And, okay, back to my list. I just have 3 like Uma in hard. And not sure if I mentioned this, but I mentioned in my last 2 lists. These are all just from a beginner's perspective. You're just to pick anybody without seeing a guide. Partially explains at the beginning, but without seeing a guide, without seeing anything, trying to raise these Umas. That's mainly what I was going for when I made this tier list. So, on hard I have Super Creek, Minor Top Gun, and King Halo. We'll start with Super Creek. Super Creek is actually well built for the races that she wants to race in. Let me see if I have Super Creek in my game. I'm pretty sure I do. Yes, she is. Alright, so Super Creek, she was planning on doing the traditional run of Triple Crown, but because she gets ill after this race, this is the reason why I personally have issues with Super Creek is because first of all she has all tough races. She has, aside from this one, which is almost a gimme, even though I've never won it. I almost never win this for some reason when I play Super Creek. I can never win that Sumiri Stakes, even though it's an OP race. Like I don't know what's going on, but anyways, everything after that is a G1 race, and she has to play top 3 in all of them. The thing about what makes it hard is you have to place top 3 in Kika Show in the initial year. The problem is between Sumiri Stakes and between Kika Show is Super Creek gets an uncurable condition, which she gets an automatic 5% extra fail chance. So you can have 100 energy and she'll still have a 5% chance to fail training. And if you hit that 5% training fail, then you have to spend like a turn trying to cure. If she gets like a mood, some kind of like she always gets mood down, but then you have to cure a condition. Especially if you pick the wrong choice, like just pick the top choice every time. Don't risk the bottom choice because you have to cure practice poor, which makes her training even worse. So, just for the headache between Sumiri Stakes and Kika Show, plus you can also get your summer camp ruined if she fails her training in the middle of summer camp. It's just a rough time. You basically have to you're playing RNG Wheel with Super Creek in that initial classic year between late February and late October. After Kika Show, if you survive Kika Show, this is not a problem. She's pretty good for the rest of the run. It's just that initial one. It's just that initial like months that are tough. She has 10% stamina growth, which is great. 10%, 20% wit, which is a bit weird. But you know what? Wit is actually, she has less of a chance to fail wit, and even if you fail wit, at least you don't, you won't lose any stats, because if you fail wit, then your character kind of just falls asleep, and you know they're not hurting themselves doing training, right? And you still recover a little bit of energy, so it's not the end of the world if you fail wit. So you could do that during in the middle of Kika Show, but no, you have to train stamina. You have to train stamina for Kika Show. That's the problem. So anyway, that's why Super Creek is difficult. And then I have next on my list is Mino Top Gun. But this might be more of a personal thing. Maybe it's like just a personal like skill issue. But I find Mino Top Gun really hard to do, because especially because Narita Bryan features very heavily in the later half of Mino Top Gun's career. And Narita Bryan just kind of just wrecks you. I don't know what it is. She's just really good. For the most part, she's not it's not too bad of an issue. You just have to make sure you have enough stamina for Kika Show, which is early. But the thing is, she also has Tenosho Spring, which is you have to make sure you have enough stamina for that. Like minimum 450 stamina for Tenosho Spring. I can't remember if my Top Gun has. Does she have stamina growth? She does. Okay, so maybe it's just a skill issue and I'm playing her wrong. You just have to give her like more speed growth, because that's probably the issue with her. But I always had issues just raising mine on Top Gun, so I probably just need to give her more stamina cards. That's probably what it is. I think I was under the impression that frontrunners just used way more stamina than everybody else, even though that's not the case. It's actually pace chasers that use the most stamina. But I found her difficult to raise. Like I only got like 2 successful campaigns with my own Top Gun, and one of them didn't even make URA finale. I didn't win URA finale. I just got to like semifinals or something. But maybe I just need to play her a bit more. Who knows? Maybe like eventually I'll find a formula that works in my own Top Gun. It was just my initial 2 runs with her that failed around like the midway through her career that I just had. I don't know. I just I kind of almost gave up on my own Top Gun, but yeah. And of course we have King Halo, who's by far the hardest to train. Alright, it's King Halo. I think we all know what it is. If you play her blind and you manage to win the first time, congratulations. I don't know how you managed to do it. So King Halo, you look at her, what she's good at, and you're like, okay. You know, a turf sprint runner with the late surges, that's okay. That's okay. Right? And then you look at her, what she has to do, and all of it is, here's a medium race. Here's a medium race. Here's a medium race. This is a long race, you just have to run in it though. But it's just like, it takes until her senior year before she finally decides, okay, let's actually do sprint and mile races, which I'm good at. Then she decides to end on Tenosha Autumn, which by this point you should have the stats for it. But her aptitudes do not match what her strengths are at first. So if you don't inherit like mile or medium, medium's probably a bit more important. But if you don't inherit mile and medium parents, then you play King Halo, you're gonna have a rough time. You're just gonna have a rough time. And she also I don't think her stats help her. No, she has 20% power, which is fine, but 10% guts sucks. And then she has nothing that makes like. You want her, if she just goes sprinting, she has no speed growth. She has no stamina growth, which she needs for her medium races. She has no wit growth. It's like she has like the worst possible combination of like stat distribution and what she's good at for races that she needs to compete in, where she doesn't have like the growth rate that's good for the races that she wants to compete in. So this is by far the hardest one to raise for a beginner. You just have to like walk into King Halo's campaign. You have to know what you're getting into. Basically, this should be like the last. If you play this for the first time, this should be the last Uma that you race. Once you get a hang of the game, do not pick her first for anything, because you're just gonna walk into this and the game is just gonna kick your butt because you decide, because she has all of these. She wants to go for Triple Crown, but she's not built for Triple Crown. Like it takes until like here. By the way, in actual history, this is the only way this is the only G1 race she wins. Or King Halo won in his actual race course history. And I actually really like King Halo's story. King Halo has a really good story. It's basically a story of like this horse just couldn't win at anything that they really wanted to win in. But the jockey was just like, okay, I believe in this horse. Let me try again and try and win in other things. And finally, he enters Takamatsu Yomiya Keenan, and King Halo wins. I think this is King Halo's only G1 win. So I think that was a pretty cool story. Which is why he has to win. She has to win this one race because it's happened historically. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like King Halo is a character, just not her campaign. Her campaign is pain. It's by far the hardest campaign in all of Umamusume, at least at this point. Yeah, so that's my tier list. If I had to guess, like, actually, hang on a second. Let me just take a quick look at the other horses here. Okay, so I know Rice Shower is notoriously difficult to raise because she gets a lot of mood down events. And I know Measure Queen and Rice Shower both have to win Tennosho Spring. A lot of these racers just have to get top 3 in it, but these two have to win Tennosho Spring, which is pretty difficult because they're each other's rivals. And winning Tennosho Spring is pretty difficult. So imagine that for a lot of people that's a roadblock. I think Mihono Bourbon also has to win Tennosho Spring. Let me just take a look. Let me just take a look here. Because I actually haven't seen Mihono Bourbon's campaign. 20% stamina, 10%. 20% stamina, 10% power, which is fine. No, she just plays third or better in Tennosho Spring. Okay. She only plays first in Arena Kyonin. Okay, her story is actually pretty simple. She has Triple Crown, which is fine. But she has 2 races before that, which makes it a little bit easier. She has like a pretty easy Spring Stakes one here. Okay, so Mihono Bourbon's actually not awful. She's actually pretty good, actually. She's actually pretty, like, if you want to race her, she's actually pretty, looks like it's pretty simple. At least the way I'm looking at it, anyway. Silent Suzuka, I also think is pretty simple because a lot of front-running, like, horses are simple. Silent Suzuka has 20% speed, 10% guts, that's fine, I guess. Okay, get 5,000 fans by early February Classic year, okay. She has a lot of easy races. Yaoi Show, Kobe Shinbun High, Kiko Show. She doesn't get challenged until Takozuka Kinan. Okay, wow, she has a really easy campaign. Okay, Silent Suzuka is probably, like, easy, like, almost Bakshin. Almost Bakshin easy. Almost, just because she has a couple of medium races, so she wouldn't be an easy tier, but, man, she has really easy races. I think that's just because, like, actual Silent Suzuka didn't get the chance to run in a lot of G1 races. Because I think Takozuka Kinan is the only race that Silent Suzuka won, G1 race that Silent Suzuka won before he was euthanized on the course at Tennosho Autumn. But yeah, Silent Suzuka has a really easy campaign. Okay. So yeah, she would definitely go in like easy tier, maybe early medium, like at the most. Her campaign looks really simple. Plus, she has a 20% speed growth, which is perfect. This is Tam Opero. I actually haven't seen her campaign yet either. Let's take a look. I know nothing about Tam Opero actually because I haven't. My accounts have her. Oh, I gotta select her. Hang on a sec. %, stamina, 10% wit. Okay. Good on medium and long. Perfect pace and late strategy. Perfect. believe she uses more as a pace chaser. 5,000 fans, Satsuki Show, Yushin, Derby, okay. Well, she just misses Kika Show, which is actually a lot easier. She has a Rima Keenan, which you have more turns to reach before you reach Rima Keenan. She does have Tenno Show Spring, which is more difficult than Kika Show. But because she has 20% stamina growth, she's fine. Like, it shouldn't be too difficult. Takazuki Keenan, Japan Cup, and then Rima Keenan. So she only has to win a Rima Keenan, actually. So I personally think she's pretty simple to race, so she'd probably be like at most like early medium at most. But because she has the 20% stam growth and then she gets like these races, she doesn't even have to do Kika Show. I don't know. I think she's actually like one of the easier horses to race. But I don't know. I don't know what her events are, but just on the outside looking in, she looks pretty easy. Yeah, the last one's Tokai Teo. Let's take a look here. Let's do original Tokai Teo. Not gonna cover like most of the ones that haven't released lately, so just to let you know. So Tokai Teo is really just historically really good medium and pace chasing. So you probably need to give Tokateo a long proficiency, because I'm pretty sure she's gonna have a long race for sure. Kikasho, yep. And she has Tenosho Spring. Okay, she has some of the hardest races in the game. Yeah, she definitely has some of those hardest races in the game. She has Triple Crown, Tenosho Spring, Japan Cup, and then Rima Keenan. It's probably like the hardest set of races in the game. But yeah, other than that, I think that didn't actually no. This is definitely like a more difficult campaign. So it should probably be like late medium, or maybe I wouldn't put her in hard, because harder for horses that have like the bad events like Super Creek or like King Halo. she has races that are wholly incompatible with what her initial aptitudes are. And I just had issues with my own Top Gun, so I put her in hard. But yeah, Tokateo definitely one of the harder horses to train, that's for sure. She has a lot of tough races. And what is her stat growth? 20% speed, 10% stamina. So that helps a lot with a lot of these races, because man, they are difficult. Okay, so that's my analysis of and tier list, I suppose, of the early Umamusume Global. So thanks for joining me. I've been yapping for almost an hour. I actually might be past an hour at this. Almost an hour. Yeah, thanks for joining me, guys, and check me out more some Umamusume content. I'll be like uploading more stuff later. Maybe it'll just be short stuff, or maybe I'll make like another long form video. I should do playthroughs on my channel as well. So in case you're curious, you guys check out to see how I do with my own campaigns. And I should be uploading a new one soon, as soon as I just have the availability to upload more stuff. So have a good one, guys, and I'll catch you all next time.